we're live. Hi, Rob. How are you guys? Doing good. Just waiting for Kristen here. She should be here in a couple of minutes. She was clearing off some stuff.
Oh, because the date that it was set.
All right, we can ask the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The first prayer of the year. Dear Father God, creator and owner of my life, Lord, I have a simple request for you today. Please protect my family and provide all our needs. Please help me to appreciate everything I have. Lord, as I start this new year, 2025, I want to thank you for everything. Despite of my struggles in life, I'm still grateful because you're so good to me and my family. This I pray in the precious name of Jesus. Amen.
December 30th for the Department on Aging, I approve hiring Constance Glenn to the position of part-time adult aid services assistant. Be effective January 21st, 2025, at the rate of $19.23 per hour for the 1-year probationary period. The offer of employment is contingent upon the successful completion of required training.
And we have the meeting minutes for December 3rd and December 10th.
Make a motion to approve those minutes.
Second,
Commissioner Brinkley? Abstain. Commissioner Owens?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
aye.
Okay, number 4 on the agenda is the Commissioner's Office is requesting the board approve the encumbrances to be considered by the Board of County Commissioners to be effective January 1st of 2025.
Make a motion to approve.
Second. Commissioner Brinkley? Yes. Commissioner Owens?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Okay, and then today's financials include an appropriations transfer from mental health to move funds to purchase a new generator and provide appropriations to a new community outreach account. There's supplemental appropriations from the auditor's office and their relief fund to provide additional funding to move billing to the cloud and additional staff for CAMA and Board of Review for the state, and then the general fund to cover an increase in the audit costs for the 2024 state audit. Among the encumbrances are the contract blankets and purchase orders from various departments for the new year, including travel requests from the clerk of courts to attend the monthly Ohio Clerk of Courts Association meetings, and from Child and Family Services to attend the Clements Nelson Ohio Child Support Professionals Association Supervisor Training Series. And there's also a revenue certification for mental health in their capital reserve fund to recognize additional 2025 revenue that was not previously budgeted.
Make a motion on the financial.
Commissioner Brinkley? Yes. Commissioner Owens?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
In January, we set the mileage rate for pursuant to the IRS standard mileage rate for the year. And, it is now going up to 70 cents per line, we're going up to 8 cents from next year, so this is just setting that. So that's in percent.
All right. We have a motion for number 6.
So move.
Second.
Commissioner Brady,
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer,
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor.
Number 7 is, Commissioner's office will discuss the request of the probate juvenile court regarding supplemental request, 300,000 request for additional outside counsel.
I make a motion.
So do we want to have a discussion on this?
Yeah, sure. Well, I asked for this to be on the agenda because I think there's a lot of unrest in the county about this issue and that people would like to see it resolved. So I made the suggestion that we put it on the agenda to have the discussion.
It's 2 people, so I just want, so I know you said you were going to make a motion, but I wasn't sure what your motion was on. The 2 pieces involved, so the supplemental appropriation request of $300,000, and that's also request for the outside counsel, so I'm not sure that's the truth, and we'll guess. So I'm not sure how, if you want to take individually on those 2 items over.
My motion was to wrap them together.
Okay, so
For approval,
Yes.
That you want to approve to give them $300,000?
I just want the motion on the floor.
second,
So I'm not clear, what is the motion that we're voting on?
How item 7 is read. We'll discuss. I'll change my motion. Make a motion to not give you supplemental request of 300,000 and not for additional outside counsel.
Okay,
deny the request.
So motion to deny,
so I'm a little bit, not clear on this because it says we'll discuss the request. So where's the discussion?
Well, after the second, it's on the discussion after the session.
Because I always could understand that having a discussion and then having the facts and then being able to make the motion on that.
I guess either way.
I mean, we're putting the cart ahead of the horse on this. We're going to have a discussion. Let's discuss what it is that Commissioner Brady wants to discuss, and we can move from there.
Okay.
Were you able, what facts do you need this time around?
Well, I'm just saying, it says we will discuss, so I haven't heard any discussion.
Okay, so, I think there's still a second that we need to have to Mr. Dvorak's question. Correct?
so I have a motion to deny approval of the $300,000 supplemental and the request for the additional outside counsel. That was,
I'll second that
okay,
motion.
so I have a motion and a second on the denial of approval.
Now discussion.
So the part of the code that was cited in the request of the Ohio Revised Code Section 2744, .0781, but just the plain reading of that statute, it refers to any civil action or proceeding which contains an allegation for damages, and then it goes on from there. But I mean, clearly this is not a civil action or proceeding. This is a disciplinary proceeding, and there's no allegation for damages. What's at stake is Mr. Grindel's legal license, his law license, and his ability to continue as a judge. So, I mean, just the law he cites is clearly inconsistent with the request.
I guess the other question is that we had this reviewed by legal counsel. Jerry, do you want to explain what they've come back with?
Yeah, when I had the discussion with our legal counsel, I was in legal counsel about that. Basically, the reply was that the board has the authority to provide the funds, but there is no requirement for them to provide the funds. And then with regards to the request for outside counsel, that would actually not be approving the hiring of the outside counsel. That would be approving request from the prosecutor to seek a joint application with the court to approve hiring outside counsel.
And as far as the legal fees that have already been incurred, it seems to me that the procedure is a bit out of whack here because the request has come after this $300,000 in legal fees have been incurred, and the commissioners have had no ability to decide what the proper rate should be of this attorney, who the attorney is, kind of coming in after the fact and asking for the reimbursement of that.
So from what I understand, and, correct me if I'm wrong here, this was a scenario that the Supreme Court appoints the counsel to this, that the commissioners truly do not have. And in this function, we do not have negotiating rights at the time of the Supreme Court basically putting whoever they have on that board, correct?
Correct. That is my understanding, is that the Supreme Court appointed this outside counsel for Judge Rendell in his case. And then, kind of like insurance, when insurance appoints outside our counsel for it, then that rolls over. We've never received anything from the probate court on whatever might have been signed off by the judge prior to that counsel being appointed. So it's not known what was decided or who ultimately is responsible. But Commissioner Brinke is correct. This really should have been done 2 years ago when the council was originally getting to the point where they were no longer going to be covered by the Supreme Court funds, where we're going to be responsibility of whether Judge Rendell or the county. But that's when this discussion really should have occurred.
Right. And I think that as Judge Rendell had stated when he was here, that the bills were not coming to us. And from what I understand, according to what his statement was, is that they basically were surprised by the bills showing up at their office at a later date. And so there was a situation, there was a big miscommunication or misdirection of the invoices, along with what's actually going on with the billing on that. And I know to his discontent also, he agreed that the $300,000 was, he felt extreme, that he would definitely be, more than willing to try to assist us in getting those bills reduced. For me, I think that there's one way or another, we're going to have to reach a settlement. I would imagine that we're going to have to pay this, whether we decide to do this here or we get this in a position that they're going to file a suit against us and litigate to get their costs paid. I think that, they got appointed by the Supreme Court and they want to get paid for their services. How this all shakes out at the end is going to be, something that we'll have to make a decision on later. But one way or another, I think that somehow somebody is going to get paid on this because the Supreme Court ordered this law group to make this, to handle this procedure and their billing for it. And so I would imagine that their time is going to probably have to be paid for, and how we'll pay for it is yet to be figured out.
Well, I mean, I think at best, it's our discretion whether to pay for it. And I think it sets a dangerous precedent for taxpayers to be subsidizing elected officials' wrongdoing. And if we're forced to do this by the court, then that's one thing, but voluntarily entering into it this time, I think that sets a dangerous precedent.
And I guess the only other thing I could tell you is my discussion with the judge on this was that statutorily, he is an employee of the county that was basically put in this predicament, in this position, and that, that he's entitled to legal representation. If that's the case, I don't know. I'm not the legal counsel on this. I'm not an attorney, so I'm not going to comment on the way that this is going to go. But I would think that one way or another, this is going to show his head again, and we'll have to figure it out then.
I mean, I would say I personally find it's a gray area if Mr. Rendell is even accountable. The way my understanding is he is partially paid by the state and partially paid by the county. So, I mean, I didn't even really get into the weeds of that analysis. But as far as, does the statute he cites say what it does? It absolutely does not. And a first-year law student could figure that out.
I feel if we have to remain pay a portion of it through the courts, then I'll wait for that day.
Excellent motion.
Do adjust the language into that deny the request for a joint application for the housing.
Sure, do both,
Well,
deny the,
To deny the approval of a $300,000 supplemental and the request for a joint application for housing.
yeah, just to be clear, both would be a denial.
Correct. It was deny both. And Mr. Brady?
Yes.
Mr. Spillier?
Yes.
Mr. Spillier?
I'm gonna abstain. I just don't have really enough to have to make a good sensible decision on this.
What'd you say?
Good morning.
And then
Have two items on the agenda today. Item number 8, the engineer's office is requesting the board approve and execute resolution 25-002, authorizing the county engineer to undertake projects in support account in certain cases in the year 2025.
Make that motion.
Second, I did notice one typo in that contract.
Okay.
If you get to the fourth whereas clause, second to last sentence, I think it says the amount not to exceed for the estimated cost of construction or reconstruction. Waiting for me, sorry.
No, I didn't correct you.
Okay.
Sorry.
Including widening and surface of roads, it says is exceed. I think that exceeds just needs to get crossed out. It says the amount not to exceed. You see what I'm saying?
The amount not to exceed for the estimated cost.
Yeah, and then it says exceeds again, that, in the following line.
The amount not to exceed.
Of construction, reconstruction, including widening and resurfacing of roads is exceeds
Um,
73,000. So we just need to axe that. I mean, I think we just, do that and initial it.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Great. Yes.
Yeah, of course, but, and it, he updated it, so the new change was that, so. So Commissioner Brady,
Yes.
Commissioner DeWatt,
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier.
Thank you. Item number 9, the engineer's office requesting the board award the bid to Ronick Incorporated for the asphalt resurfacing of Auburn Road, County Highway 0004, sections R through U in Chardon Township, in the amount of $1,138,813. As they represented the lowest and best bid. Bid bond submitted shall be held as performance bond for this project.
Make that motion.
Commissioner Brady,
Yes.
Commissioner.
Yeah.
Commissioner Spillier.
Thank you.
Christie, do you need us to all initial the change on this contract?
When they drop it into the journal, I just move to this.
go ahead.
All right. Item number 10 on the agenda is for community and economic development. We are requesting the board to approve and reappoint the plan to serve on the Fair Housing Committee for a future term in December 31st, 2026.
This position advertised, that's standard if someone wants to.
We approve that. Yes, we have never, put in category in place, and I did not advertise for it.
How are people selected? They're not.
They have been on the committee, for the 48 residents department. I guess.
We have a motion.
Make a motion, Ken.
Okay.
Yes.
Morning. Morning, Matt.
We got number 11 today. The maintenance department is requesting the board award the bid to North Bay City Incorporated for the Geauga County Annex Generator upgraded in the amount of $146,500 as their representative was discussing.
Make a motion on that, Lois.
Second,
Commissioner Brayton,
yes.
Commissioner DeWort,
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier.
Okay.
Commissioner Smith. That's it.
Thank you. Morning, Glenn.
Morning. How we doing today? Good. Staying warm?
Yes.
The next item is, for us, we work very closely with the auditor's office and, in Adrian. We get a lot of electric bills and gas bills that come in. So during this time frame when we can't pay bills, we'll get late charges.
Is there any way to prevent that in the future, Glenn?
We've been trying open the suggestions. Like I said, the auditor's office really works good with us. We'll get a billing when they send no more bills. And then we'll say, let's bring that one up. I like to sneak some other ones in there, but I don't. I don't want to use that, so what we got going in the auditor's office on that.
So just so I understand, so what is the issue? Just because there wasn't a meeting since you got the invoice, you're not able to pay, that's you're in the delay process.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Just want to make sure I understand. I mean,
Yep.
is there, with the, like the credit card policy, is there a way that we could be able to pay some of these utility costs on a credit card and avoid this issue, or it needs to be approved before regardless?
I'd have to look into that. I don't know about that situation.
I would say, my business is negotiating electric contracts. And, one thing you can do is try to change the payment terms from that 30 to that 45. And maybe that's something we should consider doing for next agreement.
So this is something that when we get that bill in, that people have to pay that late charge. It's, all our big ones come in, so we can get those, it's usually like $5 or something small. So last year we only had one, that we had to pay the late charge. So usually every year we have $5. And I know the first couple of years we spent hours and hours and hours calling the electric company trying to get it off.
Right, I'll make a motion to approve as well.
Commissioner Brayton,
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes. Okay. Don't have to go. Okay, more.
Good morning, Commissioners. Welcome, Commissioner Brayton. I just wanted to introduce Kathleen. She's our fiscal and personnel specialist, so in times that I won't be here, she will clean the distance up just so that you have the minutes.
Okay, so 13 is rescinding a motion we passed last week, and it was for a mathematical error. The penalties were added to the actual total cost, so our total amount that we requested approval for was incorrect. So if we could rescind the motion from December 27 for the delinquent sewer users. So that's, and then 14 is correcting it.
I'll make a motion. I have 13 and 14.
Second.
Commissioner Britton?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Item 15 on the agenda is requesting the board to execute a change order number 3 for with the contract with AgriSelect. It decreases the contract by $132,877. That's for the Liverpool wastewater treatment plant project. It's still, we had to suspend work for weather. It just,
Oh, you were saving money.
well, we are technically saving money. There's still.
Not doing work then.
Correct.
This, was this original bill like $430,000?
So we had gone up, the increase of the project had gone up to like over 2 million, bringing it back down because it doesn't need additional work. That we had there. As the work is progressing, the items you no longer need. And the remaining piece of work in the front line, one of the rest of the work.
Thank you. I'll make a motion on item 15.
Second.
Commissioner Britton?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Item 16 is requesting the board authorize Commissioner Dvorak, CEO for the Ohio Public Works Commission disbursement request to certify number 4 and final. This is the final request for OPWC funds. It is in the amount of $140,226.53 of the loan portion. We are leaving $37,952.47 in the loan that we will not be going after, and part of that reason is because of the additional ARP funds that were granted for the project. And at this point in time, because of the latency of the project, we're looking to get this closed up with OPWC and get up. So,
The motion's approved. 16.
Second.
Commissioner Britton?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort?
What do you, Chrissy, what do you want me to do about these that are not labeled?
Just leave them.
Just not sign them? If they say Mr. Leonard. I'll have them come.
That means you gotta pay the bill.
No, that's all right, that's all right. I was going through it out.
18-19-year-olds annual service contract, 17 is for Geauga Electric. We'd like to get a service contract in place for electrical repairs and services, and in the amount of 15,000, that's 9,000 for wastewater and 6,000 for water.
I'll make a motion on 17.
Yes.
Yes.
18 is for CUE excavating contractors to perform general excavating services for us, for both wastewater and water district. So a contract not to exceed 30,000, 15 for wastewater, 15 for water.
Make a motion on 18.
Second.
Commissioner Britton?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort?
And finally, for Hammond Electric Company, they perform 25 days of on-site PLC, HMI, and SCADA programming services at our wastewater treatment plant. This is their 1-year contract, and then not to exceed of 32,000. They bill us 8,000 quarterly.
So is this like an automation system programming? Is that what this is
It's the
for?
SCADA that runs the actual wastewater treatment plant, so they are our professional services that will come in and do the programming, behind the scenes programming, for us on call services.
Got it. Then the one thing I wasn't sure looking at the contract, is that a flat for up to 50?
Right, so we bring them in to do backups, we bring them in, so it's flat rate, it's like a
Okay.
routine rate.
Okay,
So
great, that's
they're-
what I figured. And yeah, so they don't use that but the rates seem reasonable to
We
me.
do our best.
I'm sure that's a technical field sort of, program. All right, I'll make the motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Britton?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, number 20. Commissioners Office requesting the board approve and execute resolution 25-003 honoring Commissioner Tim Lennon for his dedication and commitment to the residents of Geauga County. Great years of service. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you. I make that motion.
Commissioner Reagan?
Yeah.
Yes.
Agenda item number 21, we move for the commissioners will hold their annual reorganization meeting. I know we basically discussed some of this at the last meeting. So it's been different roles and different directions here of what to do, and today is the day that we'll finalize everything. So I guess we'll start out with the president of the board, been president for 2 years, and I'll nominate Jim Dvorak.
I'll second that.
And then for vice president, we want to do with that.
I'll nominate Commissioner Frank.
That is that.
Organizational. Yes, this is an entire review. That's okay. So, the first one we have is a usual bank, take that back to Reagan to nominate Mr. Wall as president. Mr. Reagan. I'm like that, guys. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I was- Yeah.
Mr. Ward.
Yes.
Okay, and then I have a motion by Brett, Commissioner, second for, Mr. Reagan as vice president. Mr. Reagan.
Stay.
That's all they have.
Which is.
Right.
Okay.
So this and just kind of didn't seem like there was a whole lot of changes as far as our continuing our meetings at 9:30. On Tuesday mornings, 9:30. Holiday schedule is going to pretty much stay as we have it. So if there's a holiday that falls on Monday, we would normally meet on Thursday. We'll have plenty of time to notify the public notice if there's any other changes.
We put the meeting schedule on the work.
Yeah, we do that. So yeah, we can put that out there. And they typically start putting them on the calendar.
Oh, okay.
And like the calendar that's on there, they'll show. And now that it's, we have the spring nights and to it shows on there.
Okay. Got
Changes to this from like we were in your session where the video was the, order strategy and all the commissions are.
But kind of just, skim through that. So there's that it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, it's just the sessions in how it's here, whether regular special emergency, and health and location, be the action by resolution to do that. Regular sessions, we obviously the community schedule, but here is like justice for, holidays. Advance of the vote, which is we have the distribution list for the agenda. It's then being posted on the website. With the changes on front desk, it makes sense, but the last couple just gives them changes within the office. You didn't have additional meetings as required in technically it's obligated, but you can, and we call the time that we call the town officer, which is the administrator, or the meetings of the Township Association, CCAOs, regular special meetings, probably voting council with forum, conflict, should be required to include any township trustees in the city village council, or health advisory council, solid waste management district, or water conservation district, planning commission, Geauga, CIC meetings, don't think of that going again, investment advisory committee, Ohio Public Works Commission, agricultural here. So the federal meeting moves under investigations received by the commission to attend operating and celebration of memorial services. And the parades and the useless organization of local aspects discussed and for future. It's in place the purpose of all special meetings in addition to regular special meetings to be done for 24 hours in advance. Of such meetings will be determined that request of notification acceptable and of order to the final media official action. And then there would be called, notified people the request of notification and immediate acceptance and the meeting. So that is here. So I just listed as many of the authority. So really good.
Right then.
Mr. Brady?
Yes.
Mr. DeBoer?
Yes.
Mr. Spiller?
Second.
Work session that we had, and then notes that were taken amongst yourselves, discussing which were you like to be, so the other. So I have, on here for the, 80 people are the primary business for the and alternate is Mr. Dvorak. Board revision is Mr. Dvorak, the alternate is for the community corrections. I have Mr. Larry, so I'm not sure if the alternate.
I guess I can have that.
The courthouse security advisory committee is set as a precedent so that we will be Mr. Dvorak and his alternate for that.
It's fine, I can.
And then I have family first, Brady, alternate Mr. Dvorak. The financial review report committee is president, that's primary, I just need an alternate for that. Agricultural society is three, solid waste policy is typically the primary, is the president, who is an alternate. Policy.
I can do that.
Obviously, all three of you sit on the board of directors, health district advisory board. I have primaries, Mr. Board, like alternate Ms. Freaky. Investment advisory committee has two commissioners. Mr. Spillier asked to be on that. I'm just in the secondary. All three of you would be present. I just need to know who the two primary and alternate are.
I'll take it.
No WACA. Mr. Spillier has Mr. Fox.
So I'd probably change that to Walter Claypool.
I have Ms. Brady as Mr. Bashar and Mr. Dvorak as Mr. Gora. Not how I have.
Well, just to stop, but if we're, shouldn't we have the engineer as the backup to one of those, the county engineer?
Yeah, that's how it normally goes. Somebody from the engineer's office, an engineer for roads and bridges. Normally chosen.
Do you think, Mr. Gora should be replaced by Mr. Bob? Or your alternate?
Oh.
I mean, I'm just saying, I just feel like the engineer should have.
The engineer.
Yes, the engineer, if it's not currently an alternate, based on Mr. Spiro's alternate suggestion.
Yeah, and comfortable with any copy, right?
You're in a garage, you're in the garage, the water.
Yes, but
Down
that's,
on the list.
okay. I didn't know if you had that ready, but yes, and I've been talking to him about that a year about the water quality or anything like that. There's a space that's not a whack of food, and it really fits you the apartment best.
Okay, so I have that changed now. So not how I have Mr. Dvorak as primary, Ms. Berkeley as alternate. And the commission is all three of you. And then in that revolving on the local revolving one, will be Mr. DeBoer, primary and Mr. Sedler, who is Mr. Lemon's position. So, December 31st of 20.
Okay.
So that is the first portion.
Make a motion for 1 to 14.
Commissioner Brinkley?
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Okay, so then the following two actions are to appoint additional alternates to make a VP board and a board position. So the primary authority between was alternate. And then you can choose to appoint additional alternates. If either of you are unable to attend, there's just a little like none filtration off from the off. Is there any? Yes. So then I have to the ADP board, Ms. Brady is primary and alternate, so Mr. DeBoer and Mr. Spiller for to be in effect for a year.
Do you need a motion on that? Yes, please. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Brady,
Yes.
Mr. DeBoer.
Yes.
Mr. Spiller.
Aye.
And then the next one down is the same thing for Board of Revision. And then do you want to just leave it as the same as the AAP? This was just the way it is for having.
Sure.
We have a motion on that, please.
So move.
Second.
Ms. Brady?
Yes.
Mr. DeBoer?
Yes. Aye.
And then the next one down, Mr. DeBoer, is the one that we were just discussing. You know, the appointments of Mr. DeBoer to supervise water quality committee to the alternate in Shell for the year 2025. These are other appointments to the WACA subcommittees that he also needs to be appointed to as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have it in front of me.
Yes,
Is it air quality?
it was, air, currently, the ones that you're on, Commissioner, are air quality and feedback.
Or was the other one, your quality and what?
Feedback, bicycle pedestrian advisory.
Okay.
We've been trying to, appointment to the water quality, the better quality, and the impact.
Yeah.
Do you want to? Okay. Do you want to remain your alternate for all three of those, or is Ms. Shale, or do you want to just have Ms. Shale for water?
Michelle, just for the water quality.
Okay, and then Mr. DeBoer for the air quality.
All the qualities. I will take care of.
Okay, so that's the motion.
I'm going to approve.
Second.
Mr. Brinkley.
Yes.
Mr. DeBoer.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Aye. This one will be the appointment, for the county administrator. Any discussion on that?
No discussion.
We have a motion for Gerald Morgan.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Mr. Brinkley.
No.
Mr. DeBoer.
I'm gonna vote the same way as I did last year. No.
Mr. Smith.
I'll vote yes. With the statement, Jerry served this county for quite a number of years. Both as the director of water resources, who's been engaged in just so many different projects. And I feel this is an unfortunate situation, that, you know, we would be doing this. However, 2-1, I lose in every vote. So with that, you know, Jerry, I apologize. I've got a lot of respect for you, and I think that you absorbed a tremendous amount of pressure that has been placed on you in so many ways I consider unfairly. And I think that you will move on to whatever you decide to do. You'll look back here from now and be probably very content with this day. Well, my heart aches to see you go. I apologize to you and to your family. We've never looked to make this decision. You've been a huge asset to this county. You know, so we're involved in us being able to sit here in this building today that we could not have done. And there's been so many commissioners and so many administrators that have worked on this, and they will tell you that this was a huge project to undertake of putting this county in the right direction. And I really appreciate everything that you've done and what you've done as far as water quality in this county, and just your knowledge of being able to just pick up the phone and be able to have that endless resource of information that will be truly missed. And it's going to be missed by so many of these residents also, because of your knowledge of just being that institutional knowledge and that guy that knows. And so, you know, with that being said, I'm sorry. And it's an unfortunate situation to be in today, you know, for you and for me, and for the county. So, yeah, with that, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you.
Anyone else to say, we'll put in additions too. This will probably be the first time in all the years I've been appointed as county administrator that I'm truly actually really saying thank you, because it takes a huge load off my back. Thanks.
Jerry, we're gonna miss you.
Thank you.
Yes, we will, sir. The whole county is gonna miss you. It's not the way to do it. Thank you. Keep an eye on your supporting Jerry. Thank you.
It's good moral courage.
Moral courage, integrity.
I'm going to move to appoint Linda Burhenny as county, assistant county administrator, as well as acting county administrator.
I second the motion.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll make the motion to approve Ms. Blair as clerk to the commissioners.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you. Next, Mr. Step.
I'd like to make a motion to all the way through to approve Director of Department on Aging, Director of Community and Economic Development, Chief Building Enforcement Official, Director of the Department of Emergency Services, Director of Job and Family Services, Director of Maintenance, Director of Water Resources, Sanitation Engineer Resources, and the dog warden. That's my motion to pass all of those.
Second.
Mr. Reagan.
Yes.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
Mr. Step.
Right.
The next action is to request the board to approve some action to pass. So if you're going to be authorities on table are unavailable, use it anytime during the years we can provide it. And further, I mean, the funding for pursuant to ORC 305 Compact is acting commissioner program, but it's not for certain goals or anything tier one was doing have to be during the year 2025.
I make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Brayton?
Yes.
Commissioner Fox?
Yes.
The next action is the, resolution 25-004, authorizing the county administrator to exercise powers delegated by under ORC 305.30, funding it for this.
So move.
Second.
Commissioner Brayton?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yeah.
Commissioner Flores?
Aye.
The next action is your drainage engineer. There are two actions this year. The first is to approve an ICP agreement for the county engineer to perform the drainage duties set forth in chapter 611 subdivision with people documented with commissioners for job probably year 2025.
So move.
Second.
Commissioner Brayton?
Yes.
Commissioner Ward?
Yeah.
And then what we have is to appoint the conflict with drainage engineering compensation for 2025 at a bi-weekly rate of $497.85 collectively payment for 2, repayment for 25, and $497.84 for payment for 26, in accordance with the agreement dated January 17.
So move.
Second.
Commissioner Brayton?
Yeah.
Commissioner Barron?
Yes. Aye.
The next is for your prevailing wage for years, for week 5. So last year was Mr. Boris and Mr. Fugard. Do you want those to remain the same or you can make any changes to those?
I'd like them to stay the same. I make the motion.
Mr. Brady?
Yes.
Mr. Boris?
Yes.
Aye.
And then this is supposed to. So as you all know, the, current policy changed for, this year effective January 1st, 2025. So, this is a little different than what we have done in the past. Where we have to approve a resolution, 25-005, which will approve the use of county credit cards for the year 25 for agencies and cardholders pursuant to ORC 301.27. Attached to each one of these resolutions is what we are referring to as Exhibit A, and that is the designation of the offices, departments, including the auditor, ADP, common police court, joint court, probation departments, probation court, the sheriff's office, the Department on Aging, Human Development, Commissioner's Office, the Department of Emergency Services, Job and Family Services, Maintenance, Department of Water Resources. Those are the ones that I currently have. There will be additional ones that will probably be coming next week, so we will have to redo this resolution to include those offices that did not get their cover card information in due time. So that is the first action that is before you is to approve the resolution.
So move.
Second.
Commissioner Brady?
Yes.
Commissioner Dora?
Yes.
Aye.
Okay. The next action then is to request to approve and authorize the president of the board to execute the application for authorization for use of county credit cards forms for the year 2025 pursuant to 301.27. And this to file. And then.
Yep. There's definitely a silver lining in the cloud.
So that is number will be the action for the persons from the.
I'm sorry, what was this last one? I was fine.
This is to approve and authorize the administration of the board to execute the application for authorization for use of county credit cards forms. That would be this entire file.
Got it. All right, I'll make the motion.
Second.
Commissioner Brady?
Yes.
Commissioner Black? Yes. Commissioner Summer?
Right.
And these are the ones that get submitted to the auditor's office for the signatures to be in that file. And then the new policy, then now that the resolution is approved, all of the employees that are getting out have to be included. Or now that it's part of policy, that will have to include the resolution number and the date of approval. And then those will also have to be signed for the employee, accepting the terms of use for the credit cards. And then they have to be put onto file with the auditor's office as well as our office. So those will be coming today. The other item that had originally been on there was for additional resolution for the unforeseen circumstances and due to some specifics that the prosecutor's office was requesting to be in the resolution, being full temporarily and will be updated and be presented to all of you for next Tuesday. So that is the final piece of the organizational part. Can we go back to the regular agenda, which is item number 22?
Okay, item number 22. I have a motion to go into executive session for both just the plain stuff on the public employees. What good thing is this?
Do we have to start that motion?
Commissioner asked what departments it was for the job work.
Just at the dog order.
Correct.
The law, you don't get
Chief Deputy Tom Roach. Linda.
Should be great. Is that okay?
Who?
Kathy?
Sure.
Is our HR person?
motion to move into executive session.
Second.
Mr. Brady?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Right. We get the English.
If you like. Well, should be taken after this.
Don't know. And this?
Yes.
Yeah, how's that? Thanks for,
Yep, they, so, yeah, I think it's probably old. That's like kind of like chicken pox. I wasn't really so hot around my waist. You know? You know, like that, kind of,
So, I mean, let me follow up on that. We follow up on that. $300,000. Is it okay? Right?
you can only do a copy once, you can't do a cover, you can't do a cover, it's a tax rate. You can still do a tax write off.
Why don't we for I don't know what. We're well, I know that. Stuff like that. No, I like one. There are.
Retire in the military. Like you still have the military pension. Right here.
Not like hiring. And right now, like the short. Well, the mental health. Oh. Are you still on that? On there? Oh.
I'm so glad Reed responded. I was like, you know, appreciate.
Good, say that about her. I saw you on the
Can I get a photo off of you? Should be coming to me.
I don't know if that's a good show.
I don't know. You know, let me meet the man behind.
Because they're just, like, 60 seconds.
Yeah, it's just.
But you're back, like, I think a lot of. So like those are the-
5'8" right now. I'm like,
Really big on it.
husband's 5'5". No, we're like. We're.
You look good, like, he's really nice. Like,
Collects cats. It's very narrow, like, you can't like stop it. You're gonna go back there. Yeah. Actually, so you know exactly what goes down. So.
No, what you say, yeah, I agree with you, but we got to. Really.
Oh. Yeah. Pressure's off. Well. Do. The grease that.
Right, yeah.
I think he did talk to everyone.
No, for sure.
Like, I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, you're nice.
Well, I was out, remember I said. Yeah. It's when you're in the river. I don't know where I'm at. Like, adding your dog.
Same things.
No, I think it's pretty long. Well, it's context. I want to know what. Well, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was so bored.
Yeah, they didn't do it.
Six temples, there's no way I'm gonna follow. No way. All the new guys up there, like, and they were all. Yeah. Right. I believe.
I mean.
This is our guys. Our grads have never. Yeah.
That's probably.
I didn't know that. Bar. Oh, yeah. Oh, you know, by the way, you know, you were a ballot, I feel like a struggle, I might put that ballot.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I took the reason why I was like, sure. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, no, you know, I don't want to be like my mom. Obnoxious, not about me. I'm not running around. That's like a whole. Yeah. With this paper. Yeah. Well, I tell what's it publicly, you know, I know fan, but. But trying to better. Come up with better, you know, I mean, no, it's, you'll never get right, you know that. Well, and it was. Yeah, yeah, I know. But, you know. Yeah, well, they especially, they can, yeah, like Republican too, and grass, is picking up the whole. Reorganization was. What are the big boardroom? Is it full? That was like 3 weeks before they took it, and then they said, oh, we want you to start 2 days. Come to these things where they have both. Congratulations.
I'm sorry. I know there's a camera. What? Sometimes. So that center is as so we are at the MSI. We are at the like on Master Doctor Shop, that's where senior center is. You're on that part of the senior center is like Raven building. And then we thought we were gonna build COVID where it's temporary, like put into.
Thought you were news media. Thought you were news media. Thought you were news media.
No, it's just a projection.
What's ETA? Soon be out there. iPads looking, we got an issue with security stuff. Aren't you guys going to cloud-based or something like that? Or trying to? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean,
We just have a senior center, like we are all senior center.
yeah, just wondering what you had an ETA on, like when you're like, we might have a whole bunch, I guess.
Yeah, so we have a senior center, which is like almost like a YMCA, we're like, so we have that. And then we also have an adult daycare. At the Metzenbaum MSI building, and they have everything from, everything from like news and guest speakers coming in to talk about things to exercise classes. They've got everything from breakdancing to arthritis exercise to they have the Italian version. They've got all sorts of stuff. So you're on the email, right?
Yeah.
We'll send you the calendar for the site, so you can see what kind of stuff you need. And they do trails. So you're. So if you're going to Chesterland from here, school is first, workshop is second. So school is gonna be first on the right-hand side. And then there's the workshop. So we're in the whole workshop. There's 80 individuals. There's no DD individuals.
No, I mean like.
Yeah, so we have the adult day center there, and then we have separate entries. They do everything Maybe you just want to sit and drink coffee. Everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you don't want to do anything.
Yeah, right, yeah. That's the thing about open thing. Yeah, yeah. That's the spirit of it. 1%.
We also have people who like to complain about doing things, but yet they keep doing them.
Out. So you out of here? No.
Yeah, and each one is 15 center, you go to, request the office email calendar, and it has them on the calendar, what they do. And, we're gonna be, I'm sure it's like,
Yeah.
building and stuff, we can do groundwork for that.
Yeah. Her name is Matter. She worked at a hospital. And then she came in. Yeah. I know. I remember it was white. I wasn't here. You're not.
It's crowd hours in the back. Emilio,
Yeah.
he's like, we can help. Oh.
Yeah, so this is beautiful.
Call the meeting back in order. We have an executive session and no action taken at this time. I'll have, public comment, any public comments?
I just wanted to thank Ralph and thank Tim for the time that they have served with them. They've been great people to work with. County's in good hands with Ralph going forward. And I want to thanks the county, citizens of the county for, trusting me for the last 6 years, the last 18 years, including a lot of resources. Thank you.
Thanks, Jerry.
Diane Jones, Auburn Township. I do have a question about appointments to ADP board and board of revision. And I understand it's very that you are the primary Did I hear that correctly?
For ADP, I think Mr. Dvorak is for revision.
Okay, could you repeat those appointees to both the ADP board and the board of physicians, please?
ADP board is, Commissioner Brady, and myself, and Rob, and Linda Ray. Board of Revision is, Commissioner Dvorak, Alderman Brady, and Rob, and myself. You got any more attention?
Ooh.
Recording.
I'm sorry, final member for board of revision. Can you repeat that again, please?
Mrs. Burhenny.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Is that, Mrs. Jones?
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Jim Geauga. First, I want to say, all the love, support Matt for our shelter. We appreciate everything you've done for us. So, I want to say frankly again for Tim Lennon for, giving the $250,000. Oh, I support our fair board very well too for the upgrade you're putting on that too. The 250 should be a good start for our shelter. Not only save our dog lives, but if you talk to two people there, they were here. The one lady, the dog she brought in from Tennessee, saved her life. The one girl who works at the shelter, she felt she said saved her life. While you were in your executive session, I just questioned, Matt might have used a little language inappropriate, but emails with somebody from the police off that using F-bombs, that was inappropriate. The way Mr. DeWart handled it, I'm sorry, sir. Bringing that up in a public meeting was inappropriate. That should have been the executive session only. You look at Robert Rules of Order. I've been on several boards and you never do that. And I've chaired a lot of boards. Did you admonish? I think you should admonish Blaze, the sheriff and his deputy for their unprofessional conduct and screening. Mr. Spitaleri and Mr. Lennon, you couldn't apologize more. I know how embarrassed you were about that too. So thank you very much for showing how much you care about the citizens here too. My question is is that there was legal fees for Tim's Grindell, $300,000. A lot of that was instigated by Blaze's office. Is anybody, and I mentioned this last meeting, we got $20 million in new courthouse. Wasn't there consideration about maybe donating that to the historical society, put up a new building, modernize it, they're trying to modernize it. I saw what they did at Berkshire School District, put millions of dollars in it. 2 years later, we need a new school building. Seems like we're wasting a lot of money there. And then we lost $4 million by him, we can't account for. And Walters seems to be expensive, seems to be going to the road. Have you thought about some type of public board to consider an oversight for this? We need to have somebody oversighting this money, spending it. Attorneys are horrible about managing money. Usually single practice attorney usually goes bankrupt in 2 years. They don't know how to manage money. Place has no clue how to manage money. He lost the $4 million and there's oversight. We need to do something about that. And for a budget for that, and we need to watch over our budget, things like that. I appreciate your time. You've done a good job, Mr. Larry. I have questions about you, Mr. Brady. I don't know what your allegiances are, but I think you're tied to the place too much. You need to become independent if you want to stick around on that board. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments. Anybody else for you?
Yeah, I'd like to speak. Steve Walters used to be an employee of the county. I'd like to speak on behalf of Jerry Morgan. What happened today was a black mark on this county's history. 18-year employee of the county, never got an evaluation, never got a derogatory report, never was disciplined. But all of a sudden today, he doesn't get reappointed. I think it needs to be looked into. Congratulate you, Mr. Dvorak, because you finally got rid of Mr. Dvorak. So you're probably gonna be very happy tonight. Ms. Brakey, I don't understand. You've been 1 week a commissioner and you made a decision to get rid of Jerry Morgan without even trying to work with him while you were in the position of commissioner. It just doesn't sound right. And all this smacks of petty politics, payback, and personal grievances. And I wish people would get over the personality difficulties. Or we'll see more signs on Route 84 insulting former politicians. So I think what happened to Jerry was nonsense. It wasn't right. And he's done far more than anyone realizes. and I'll be done with that. Thanks, Ralph, for all you've done. I have my trepidations like this gentleman back here.
Well, what's happened's happened. I told you what was gonna happen. You have another 2 to 4 years to live with this crap. We have to sit here and listen to it too. What they tried to do to Granito was terrible. What they've done to Jerry is terrible. You and I discussed this, I think, once before, indirectly at the fair. This is gonna turn into a big problem. And I'm gonna be here to take care of it and to handle it in the future. But to let a man go, like we were trying to do with Granito after 30 years, this man, after all these years, you let him go. For what reason? Is there a reason, Jerry, that they let you go? Is it in writing?
They chose not to reappoint him.
Excuse me?
They chose him not to reappoint him.
Why?
They chose him not to reappoint him. They had the authority to choose not to reappoint him.
Why have you not reappointed
What's the
Jerry?
explanation?
Is there a reason? Is it in writing? You can't let a person go unless you put the reason in writing. You'll hear from me again, everybody. So bear with it. Hope you have a good year.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your comment.
Thank you, everybody here. Because it's gonna be a problem for all you government employees. You all better be careful because they're gonna hang you out to dry. If I were a government employee in Geauga County today, I'd be nervous. Anybody agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Amen.
Anybody else?
Jody Danko, resident for 35 years here. I would agree with what these gentlemen have said here this morning. My issue is why this board decided to fire a man for doing his job. Or maybe that is the reason why they fired him, because they don't want him to do his job because he's doing it too well. And maybe he's exposing things that they don't want exposed. I think we have a triumvirate of power-hungry animals in this county, and it's all elected officials. And it's our responsibility to unelect them. That's for certain. And I think we all know who they are. We start with Walder, we start with Blaze, and I think Mr. Dvorak's in that, amongst that group. They're puppet masters. They got a new puppet in the office today. And beware, because the puppets are very often hung out to dry by the puppet masters. I was hoping that there would be some type of fresh, new ideas, independent ideas. Didn't see it today, didn't see it last week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
I did want to talk about recording meetings going forward, if we could discuss that, or we, did you gentlemen have a chance to review the memo that was presented by Mr. Antonucci regarding options for recording meetings?
I'm okay with recording meetings and stuff.
So there were 3 options presented. One would be to stream meetings via YouTube. The second option was to stream meetings via Microsoft Teams, and then the third option would be to use this pressing system that's very expensive. It was installed for use in chambers. Of course, that's a longer term solution. We don't currently have in-house resources regarding the operation of that system. I think as far as immediate solutions, we'll do that with the Microsoft Teams or the YouTube option with existing AEP equipment. My preference would be to use YouTube, which is what we use for the Board of Health. It doesn't require a link, unlike Microsoft Teams, where you have to have a link in order to sign on to that. So I don't know if we want to make a motion or how we would handle that going forward. Is there any other discussion?
No, I'm okay with it. YouTube.
Yeah, that would be my suggestion, is that
Yeah.
the immediate solution is to stream via YouTube. And then longer term, I think we should look into getting this restaurant system operational. ADP has an appetite to learn how to use it, but they are going to need some training to figure out. Okay, so should I make a motion to stream our meeting starting next week via YouTube with the help of ADP? Okay, so I'll make that motion.
Second.
May I ask for clarification?
Yeah,
Because my understanding streaming is live. Yeah. And YouTube is recorded.
so they can
So
do
do
both. They can do both. So they can stream via YouTube, and then it would also be the record, the recorded version would also be on the YouTube site.
Can you clarify in your motion if you want to do one or the other or both?
We would want to do both, streaming and then having the recording. At least that's how I would do it.
Do they need to amend the motion?
Chris, I'm still writing.
I don't even know.
So we only have a motion.
Record retention policy didn't be on that.
How long to keep those?
Yeah.
I'll have to look into that.
I think there's a lot of moving stuff on things that happen for
A little while.
maybe a couple weeks.
I think they're ready to go now. They're ready as soon as we pull the trigger, so.
Well, the archive is under ADP, so they would be able to address what the retention ramifications would be. But I will get back to you on it.
So I have stream meeting via YouTube starting next week. The YouTube live and as well as
Okay, so amending the motion to including recording of the meetings as well.
we go with that.
Yes.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second. Commissioner Brady?
Yes.
Commissioner Ford?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
You asked?
Maybe.
Come on up, Tim, we'll present you with this resolution.
Very nice. Appreciate it.
Good luck, good luck. Good luck.
Thanks. Feel free to service. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you, Stages, good job. Thank you. Thanks, John. Thank you very much. Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you. I thought that. Yeah.
I had adopted my cousin. Yeah. Don't come back. This is my one time you're ready to see it. Yeah. Well, you know, we had to help him. So we're not gonna let you go. I know what happened today. So, thanks for kicking some, your whole story. You know, I very sharp. Good. I know how to. No, I just laughed because. Thank you very much. Or not. I'm but I'll give it a hold.